In a village deep in the forest, a mother and her little child were living together. And then one day, the mother went for a walk in the forest with her little child. Suddenly, the little child became curious about a frog and started following it. The mother tried to catch up with them, but the child disappears as soon as he went around to the corner. Oh, where on earth did this child go? First she looked among the bushes, and then she thought she should look behind the big tree. But she couldn't see him anywhere. And then she found herself at the edge of the swamp. Without thinking, she jumped into the swamp and got herself covered in mud. When she couldn't find her child there either, she went into the chicken coop next door and got covered in feathers. On the other side, the little child, unaware of what was happening, was busy playing around with a frog. Suddenly, an old witch came up to him and told him she had candy for him.
Well, hello there, little sweet boy. Would you like to have this candy?
The little child was very scared of the witch.
Ah!
His mother heard the scream and immediately ran to where she heard it from. But when the witch saw her coming, she cast a spell that made her take the form of the mother. What are you doing? Stay away from my child.
What nonsense are you talking? This boy is my child.
The child looked at his mother and then at the woman next to him. Not recognizing his mother in that state, he hugged the witch tightly. Her mother could not hold back her tears. While they were busy arguing, the fairies of the forest came flying out. What on earth is going on here? Which one is the real mother?
I don't understand. Maybe we should take them to fairyland. Then we can find out who the real mother is.
The fairies took the child and the two women back to fairyland with them. The head fairy welcomed them into the castle and listened to their story. Now we're going to figure out which one of you really is the real mother. Whoever the child runs to is the real mother. Both the women agreed to this. The child ran to the witch. Seeing this, the mother said that she needed to clean herself up. She quickly washed herself and asked if they could do another test. Give us another test, and he'll recognize me this time. The fairies asked each of them to prepare a meal that the child would like. First, the real mother prepared a nice rice dish for him, and the child ate it with pleasure. After that, the witch used her special magic powers to prepare a beautiful giant chocolate cake for him. When the little child saw this cake, he went absolutely crazy. But that's not fair at all. Every child loves chocolate cake. The fairies said that the tests were over and gave the child to the witch. The mother immediately burst out crying and wanted to hug her child one last time. The fairies allowed it. And then, the moment the child hugged his mother, he said softly, "Mama," to her. Did you see that? He recognized me by my smell. When the witch saw them doing that, she immediately separated the mother and the child and tried to take the child away.
Wait a minute, you should give him a hug as well.
The witch hugged him, but the child didn't want her and pushed her away. When the witch insisted, the little child burst out into tears of his own.
Mommy!
Oh, he started panicking. Come, my boy, I'll hug you at home. And right at that moment, the fairies put up a huge magic wall in front of the witch. This made the witch very angry, and she was very quickly changed back into her old form.
I will not give you the child!
The fairies lifted the child up into the air with magic and put him safely in his mother's arms, and they locked the witch up in a cage. With the help of the fairies, the mother and her child made it safely out of fairyland. The mother held her child tightly to her chest and was very grateful to the fairies for making sure her child was safe. We're also very grateful to you for showing us how close the evil really is to us. And then after that, the mother and her child very happily went back to their village. Because true love and compassion will always be powerful enough to win the battle against evil. Once upon a time, there was a very ill-tempered queen, living in a great and magnificent kingdom. Then one night, the queen fell into a very restless sleep. In her dream, a mysterious woman appeared. "You have to be a kind-hearted person, otherwise you'll be alone." The queen didn't pay much attention to the dream. The next morning, while the queen was walking around her palace, she discovered a secret room that she had never noticed before. She went inside curiously and found a gold necklace lying inside. The queen was captivated by the necklace's magnificence. She immediately put it around her neck, but no matter how long she waited, the necklace did not shine. How is this possible? How can a necklace this precious not start shining like the sun? The queen decided to go to the wizard. The wizard listened to the queen attentively.
This necklace only shines when kind-hearted people wear it. You have to learn how to be kind.
The queen didn't want to believe what the wizard said, so she came up with other ways to make the necklace shine. She collected all of the precious stones in the palace and prepared various different potions. But with each attempt, the necklace only got darker. As the days passed by, she gave up and decided to try what the wizard suggested. She wanted to do 3 good deeds in the palace. The first thing she did was tell the oldest maid in the palace to appear before her. The maid was afraid but answered the summons anyway.
Oh, my queen, have I made a mistake without realizing it?
I heard that you've been having a hard time lately, so I'm going to give you a few days off to rest. The maid was surprised and showed her gratitude to the queen and left the room. And then the necklace around the queen's neck started shining slightly. The queen then called the gardener of the palace. The gardener meticulously cultivated the queen's flowers every single day, but never received any appreciation. Thank you for all of the beautiful flowers in the garden. Your work is really valuable to me. The gardener was very happy with the words the queen had said to him, and then the necklace shone a little brighter. For her third act of kindness, the queen called the chef of the palace. Realizing that the chef was in a very difficult position, the queen gave him a bag of gold. I'm giving you these coins to take some of the weight off your shoulders and to help you support your family. The chef burst into tears at this act of kindness. At that moment, the necklace around the queen started shining more brightly than it had before. When the queen looked in the mirror, she was amazed by how shiny the necklace was. The king was surprised by the change in the queen and decided to take breakfast to his wife on that day. No one in the palace could take their eyes off the queen or her necklace. My necklace is shining! Look, everyone admires me. Everybody loves me so much now. The queen was so amazed by how shiny her necklace was that she began to clean it by scrubbing it harder with every good deed she did. But then, one day while she was cleaning the necklace, the stone suddenly broke in 2 fragments. The queen wept as her heart shattered. Oh, my necklace is broken. No one will love me anymore. But her subjects didn't stop treating her well. But why? My necklace doesn't shine anymore. Why are you all being so nice to me? The employees of the palace answered in unison.
My queen, you've become a wonderful person. Not only does your necklace shine, but your heart shines as well.
And right at that moment, the queen realized that the love people had been showing her was not because of the necklace that was shiny. Rather, they showed her love because she was a good person. And because of that, the queen became a truly good person and started learning how to shine without the necklace. In a village far, far away, there were 2 sisters. The one was called Lazy Girl, and the other was called Diligent Girl. While the Diligent Girl did all the housework with great devotion and concentration, the Lazy Girl constantly made excuses to get out of doing any work.
Sister, could you at least clean those piles up, please? Oh, no! It is time for me to go and get my beauty sleep.
Diligent Girl patiently put up with Lazy Girl's excuses every single day, while Lazy Girl spent her days daydreaming and avoiding housework.
One day I'll marry somebody very, very rich. Everything I will own will be made of gold. And who knows, maybe even my bread will be made of gold.
The Diligent Girl knew that this dream was never going to come true. and she tried her best to explain it to the lazy girl.
Having lots of money does not guarantee that you'll be happy, my dear sister.
But the lazy girl didn't care about anything her sister had to say. One day, two of the diligent girl's closest friends, Mary and Jack, came to the house. The diligent girl told them about the lazy girl's dreams of having lots of money.
My sister's dream is very worrying. She wants a life that's filled with golden things. She even wants food that is made of gold. It's impossible.
Maybe if she lives her dreams, she'll see the truth of the situation. Let's make a plan. Jack disguised himself as a rich man and came up to the lazy girl. Hello, dear. I'm a very rich businessman, and I'd really like to marry you. When the lazy girl saw this rich man who she did not know, she got very excited. The diligent girl warned the lazy girl and told her to find out who this person was first.
Oh, no. He can give me the life I've been dreaming about. I will get married to this man.
Even though the diligent girl kept objecting, the lazy girl said yes to him. Jack took her to a magnificent house that was made of gold. Everything in the house was made entirely out of gold. Here is a golden dress for you. You should put it on now. It'll look really great on you. The lazy girl eagerly put on the golden dress, but she found that it was so tight around her body that it was very hard for her to breathe at all. Jack also gave her a pair of golden shoes. Lazy girl really struggled to get them onto her feet. And with every step she took, her feet started hurting more and more because the gold was hard.
Ugh, these shoes are so hard and uncomfortable. My feet are so swollen.
The lazy girl started getting hungry and asked when they were going to eat. I have laid the perfect table for you. There is golden bread and meats made of rubies and butters made of pearls. The lazy girl took some golden bread and spread the pearl butter over every bit of it. The moment she took a bite, it made her teeth start hurting so much that she immediately dropped the slice of bread back on the table. Just then she remembered what her sister said and started feeling truly alone, even though she was surrounded by gold.
Is there anything in this house that isn't gold? I miss my sister so much. I want to go back home right now.
Jack gently brought her back to her own house. The lazy girl hugged the diligent girl and apologized for what she had done.
Wealth is not about a life full of gold. It's about being with your loved ones. I'm so sorry, sister.
And then, from that day onwards, the lazy girl gave up her dream of living in a golden world. Because the truth is that true wealth is not about everything being made of gold, but about appreciating the people who you love. Once upon a time long ago, there was a lazy young girl living in a land far, far away. One day, the villagers asked Lazy Girl if she'd be willing to help collect the crops. We can't keep up anymore. Please come help us a little. The lazy girl looked out over the garden. Ooh, I can't help you with that. It'll make my nails break, she said. She slowly walked away from the field so that no one else would come and ask her for help. But she ended up walking so much that she found herself in front of an ice castle.
Ah, is this the castle? Is this the famous palace that the Snow Queen lives in?
Out of curiosity, the lazy girl opened the ice door and walked inside. When she saw the cold and gloom of the castle, she could not believe her eyes.
Oh, how is it possible for anyone to live in here?
At that moment, the beautiful Snow Queen noticed the lazy girl who had come into her castle without her permission. She was so angry. You came in here without permission. You're my prisoner now. I'll only release you if you complete the task that I give you, she said, before imprisoning her in the castle. The first task that the queen gave her was to clear the ice that was blocking the roads to the castle. The lazy girl, desperate to get away from the castle, cleared the roads by carrying ice with her hands for more days than she dared count. But that was still not enough to make the queen smile. The second task she was given was to extract water from the frozen lake. The lazy girl managed to extract the water by breaking the ice with stones. Once again, the queen did not even look at lazy girl's face. The last task she was given was to organize all the books in the castle's massive library.
How am I ever going to organize all of these books?
Lazy girl patiently placed the books next to each other. Each time she finished a shelf, she found herself feeling better. Now she'd be able to leave the palace. Suddenly, she noticed an ice horse figurine that was standing alone on a dusty shelf. The figurine looked like it was very sad. The lazy girl thought, this figurine must be a lost friend of the queen's. This might be the reason she's so sad. She thought she should help. From among the books on the shelf, she picked the book out that had information about old legends and spells. In the book, she read that bringing ice figurines to life requires love as well as lots of patience and courage. The lazy girl gathered all of her courage and decided to perform the ritual. Inside the palace, she found a garden made out of crystals. In this garden, on one side, there was a passage also made of ice, through which only the bravest could pass. The lazy girl moved very carefully among the huge ice crystals and kept her wits about her. She knew that she could also turn into an ice figurine at any moment, and at the end of the passage, she came across the legendary ice flower. She plucked up her courage and picked the flower. To get to the highest tower of the palace, she climbed up the cold steps until she was at the top. And there, she found a very small room filling up with the first rays of sun. She placed the figurine down and put the ice flower on it and whispered wishes of love. Suddenly, the figurine started trembling and the ice crystals began to glow, and then they dissolved.
I can't believe it! It's happening!
Finally, the figurine turned into a graceful horse right in front of the lazy girl. Then the horse reared up and made its way towards the queen's room. The Ice Queen saw that her lost friend had come back and could not hold her tears back. Her heart of ice softened completely. This horse is my only friend. How did you bring him back?
It just took some love, patience, and also courage.
The queen told the lazy girl that she was free to go now. While the lazy girl was returning to her village, she realized that she wasn't lazy anymore. And then from that day onwards, the lazy girl started being helpful to everyone. This is how the fairy tale of the land far, far away ended, with friendship and hard work. Once upon a time, in the deepest depths of the ocean, there was a beautiful girl. She was a little mermaid and her name was Aria. That day, while she was frolicking in the calm, clear waters near the shore, she saw that without her even noticing it, her pearl necklace had fallen off.
Oh, my necklace came off. Where could it be?
Aria was swimming all over the reef looking for her necklace, while a little red fish was coming back from school. Suddenly, he saw hidden among little grains of sand something beautiful and bright. It was the necklace. It was so beautiful and so dazzling that he immediately put it on and went back home quickly. But as soon as he saw his mother, he was sure to hide it. Why are you so late today, my dear?
Well, I was just playing around for a little bit, Mom.
The next day, while he was on his way to school, Redfish put the necklace on and started enjoying the swim. However, he was unaware that Snake, a sneaky sea snake, had secretly been keeping an eye on him.
What a beautiful necklace. I have to come up with a way to get it.
Snake suddenly noticed that there was some fishermen who were fishing up ahead and approached the redfish.
If you don't want anything bad to happen, then give me the necklace.
And the redfish started to worry and decided to get away from the snake. But whichever way he went, Snake always showed up in front of him. Just as the redfish turned in the direction of the fishing rods, Snake started coming after him quickly. The little fish was swimming towards the net without realizing the danger, and very unexpectedly found himself caught in the fisherman's net.
What's going on?
And at that moment, Snake took advantage of the situation, got hold of the necklace, and then quickly swam away.
Help me!
the other hand, Aria was still looking for her necklace when she heard the sound of someone crying. As she followed the sound, she noticed the fishing nets and the little red fish that had been caught inside.
Oh, poor little fish. Please don't worry. I'm coming to save you.
Aria, without even the blink of an eye, tore a piece out of the net and set the little red fish free. The little red fish told her about everything that he had been going through. It was at that moment that Aria realized that the red fish was talking about the necklace that she was looking for.
My necklace! So you're saying Snake has it now? So then it was your necklace?
The little red fish wanted to help the mermaid who had saved his life earlier. Aria and her little friend followed the line of the broken seashells that were on the seafloor. After a while, they found themselves at the mouth of a dark cave.
Snake might be in this cave, so let's be careful.
And so Redfish and Aria silently snuck their way into the cave. And Snake was stubbornly trying to get the pearl from the necklace with his teeth.
Get off, Snouse!
Aria and the little redfish swam into action at the same time. The redfish was distracting Snake's attention by swimming circles all around him.
What is that?
Aria quickly grabbed the necklace from him and with the little red fish at her side swam away. Snake chased after them, but the little red fish was blowing bubbles in his direction and got disoriented and ended up getting stuck in the narrow part of the tunnel. And while he was hissing with anger, Aria and the little red fish quickly swam away and went in search of a safe place.
You will have to be very careful now, Redfish. Doing something and not telling your family could get you into even more trouble.
The redfish saw that all of this had happened to him because he had hidden the necklace away from his family. From that day onwards, he didn't ever hide anything from his family. And his friendship with Aria, which started by them helping each other, very quickly became the talk of the entire Ocean Kingdom. In Princess Sunshine's country, everybody was very happy on that day. Until they noticed a boat that had washed up on the shore and was in pieces. Sunshine was very surprised by what she saw. Firstly, she looked around to see if there was anyone in the boat that might need her help, but she didn't see anyone. And then, when she lifted one of the pieces of broken wood, she saw an injured young girl lying underneath it. "Give me your hand, dear." The young girl stretched out her injured hand as far as she could and was taken away from the wreckage by Sunshine.
Thank you very much.
What has happened to you? Where did you come from?
I come from very far away. Actually, I'm a princess, but the Witch Queen has taken over my kingdom. And while I was fighting her, she sent me to the middle of the sea with a spell. And out there, my boat was broken into pieces. How am I going to get home now?
Don't worry, we're going to fix your boat.
But how are we going to do that?
My princess friends are going to help us. The young girl and Sunshine returned to the palace together. While the young girl was eating for the first time in a while, Sunshine first went and knocked on Cinderella's door to ask for help from the kind-hearted princess she knew. When Cinderella heard about what happened, she gave her some planks made from a special tree as well as some resin to stick them together. Sunshine was very happy about this. After that, she went to visit Rapunzel. When she told her about the young girl's situation, Rapunzel gave a lock of her very strong hair to help fix the boat again. "Take this. It's the strongest hair you'll find in the whole world. The sails and ropes of the boat are going to be very strong." Sunshine gratefully took the hair she offered and then went to visit Snow White. And Snow White felt very sorry for the young girl whose boat had been destroyed. She wanted to give her a magic compass in the shape of an apple. If she used this, then the boat would never lose its way. And no matter what, it would guide her safely back to where she had come from. Finally, Sunshine went to talk to Mermaid Aria. And Aria gave her a couple of very big seashells. And she said that with these seashells, the boat could very easily escape from horrible sea monsters and dangerous waves that might threaten her. The next day, Sunshine rebuilt the young girl's boat, so strongly and beautifully all on her own, with the materials that she had been collecting, that the poor girls started crying tears of joy.
There's still a bit of Rapunzel's hair left over, so take it with you, and when you least expect it, it'll come in quite useful.
The young girl thanked her from the bottom of her heart and set off immediately. Although after a while, lightning began to flash in the sky, and she found herself in the middle of a strong storm. But thanks to the compass she was given, she did not lose her way. And what's more, the new sail on her ship was still completely intact. Later on, terrible sea monsters came out of the water and tried to tip the boat over. Fortunately, the seashells did a very good job of protecting the boat, and it survived the monsters without capsizing. And then the huge waves that came afterwards were not able to sink the boat, thanks to the strong wood. When the young girl set foot again on the land of her country, the Witch Queen was standing there waiting for her.
I didn't think you'd be able to make it, young girl, but it's a little too late. I'm the queen now. I am stronger than you think, you horrible evil witch.
The witch tried to send an evil spell ball to the young girl. However, the young girl managed to change the direction of the spell by lifting up the magic compass in her pocket. Because of that, the witch was left defenseless. And then at that very moment, the young girl tied the witch with Rapunzel's strong hair, and then she had her thrown into the dungeon. Now feeling stronger and more powerful, the young girl was ready to take on the throne again and rule the country with goodness and make her people happy. Of course, she never forgot about the help that the princesses had given her. The very next day, she wrote them a letter of thanks. Because helping each other is the most important key in overcoming difficulty. Once upon a time, in a great kingdom, there were 12 beautiful princesses. To each of these princesses, dancing was a favorite pastime. One day, while the youngest princess was looking out of the palace window, she noticed that there was a red light shining in the well in the garden. Without telling anyone, she made her way out to the well. When she looked into it, she couldn't see anything but light, so she caught it with the bucket and pulled it up.
What could this be?
She saw that inside the bucket, there was a pair of shiny red shoes. Then the princess put the shiny red shoes on, and then suddenly she found herself dancing incredibly well in the garden.
Oh my goodness, these shoes are magical! Just look how beautifully they're making me dance!
Just then, a little fairy appeared. She said to her,
"Be honest and share the shoes, otherwise you'll have to pay for the magic."
And she disappeared. The young princess did not pay attention to what the fairy said and did not tell her sisters about the shoes. The next day, they were hosting a grand ball. The young princess put on the magic red shoes and went to the ball. When everyone was watching her beautiful dance and admiring how graceful she was, the middle princess asked her with curiosity, "Sister, you have never danced this well before. Where did these shoes you have on come from?" The young princess said that she always danced like this and lied to her that her father had given her the shoes as a gift. Just then, to her horror, the shoes stopped working, and the young princess, thud, fell to the ground.
What happened now?
The young princess quickly took the shoes off her feet and quickly ran back to her room, followed by curious looks. The next morning, her sisters asked the young princess about the shoes. "We like the shoes very much. Can we perhaps wear them too?" But this time, the young princess told her that she had lost the shoes somewhere. Her sisters realized that the young princess was lying to them. The little princess tried the shoes on again, secretly from her older sisters. But instead of making her dance well, the shoes quickly dragged her out to an old hut in the forest.
Help me!
The young princess was being pushed around in the hut because of her shoes, and she found herself stuck in a huge spider web and could not escape.
Someone help me! Someone get me out of this!
At the same time, all the princesses were curious about the young princess who had not been seen for hours. They all went out to look for her everywhere. Finally, the oldest princess was passing by a hut when she heard the sound of her sister crying. When she entered the hut, she found the young princess all tangled up in a spider web. She pulled from one side and then from the other, but no, she couldn't do anything. Then all of a sudden, the princess's red shoes caught her eye. The moment she took them off her feet, the spider webs disappeared all by themselves. The young princess gave her sister a big hug and gave her her deepest thanks.
I know. All of this happened to me because I didn't share the shoes with you.
Her sister said that selfishness was a very bad thing, that she should go and apologize to all her sisters. The princesses set out for their palace. The young princess regretfully apologized to all of her sisters. The important thing is that you realized your mistake, little one. And so, all the princesses discovered the magic of the shoes and the power of sharing things with each other. They started taking turns dancing with the magic shoes at their balls. The story of the princess who chose to share her shoes has been told for generations in the kingdom. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there was a beautiful and lovely girl whose name was Cinderella. Her stepmother, as well as her stepsisters, were always treating Cinderella badly because they were jealous of her. And on the day of the big ball in the kingdom, her stepmother and stepsisters came up with a plan to prevent Cinderella from going to the ball.
Cinderella, go and pick flowers in the forest to decorate my hair with. I have to be beautiful. I also want the purple hyacinths at the end of the forest road. Come on!
Cinderella said to them, but it isn't that long until the ball. Sadly.
Oh, don't worry. We would never ever leave before you come back.
Cinderella left the house with tears in her eyes. After a long journey, she finally reached the purple hyacinths. But as soon as she tried to reach for the flowers, her fingers started getting pricked by thorns. Cinderella started crying because of the pain, and because she realized that because of this, she wouldn't make it to the ball. Suddenly, a fairy appeared in front of her. The fairy asked Cinderella what was making her so sad. My sisters asked me to come to the forest to go and pick flowers, even though they knew I wouldn't be able to make it to the ball. The fairy snapped her fingers, and suddenly, a pair of sparkling red shoes appeared in front of her hand from out of nowhere. You just need to put these magic shoes on and you'll be ready for the ball in no time. But remember this, the effect of the magic will wear off during the full moon, so you have to make sure you're home before it appears. And then she suddenly disappeared. Cinderella looked around in a state of surprise and tried the shoes on. The moment she put them on, she found herself in front of the ballroom, transformed into a beautiful princess with her hair, as well as her dress, looking absolutely perfect. Oh, where am I? Look at this dress. Is what I'm seeing really real? She entered the ballroom and people looked at her in admiration. Her jealous stepsisters and her stepmother were taken aback when they saw her.
No way! It was impossible for her to make it to the ball. And where did she get those clothes from? They're so ugly.
All through the room, people were paying attention to Cinderella. May I have this dance, my princess? Cinderella and the prince spent hours dancing with each other. However, in the middle of the dance, a dove came in through the window and perched on Cinderella's shoulder and whispered,
"The full moon's about to come out, so you need to go home."
Cinderella left the prince and ran out of the door, leaving the prince in a daze. She couldn't see what was in front of her and stepped into a puddle, and one of her magic shoes was swept away by the stream of water.
I have to hurry, or else everything will go back to the way it was before.
Finally, she managed to get back home before the full moon appeared. She changed out of her dress and hid the shoe that she had left under her pillow. The following morning, the prince was walking around sadly when he stumbled upon one of the red shoes. This is one of the shoes the princess was wearing, he thought to himself. The prince traveled all over the kingdom to find the foot that the shoe belonged to. And one day, he came to the house where Cinderella was living. The cruel stepsisters immediately lined up. Cinderella was watching what was happening from afar. The first one to try the shoe on was the oldest stepsister. But as soon as she put it on, her hair suddenly fluffed up. It looked like she had a massive bush on her head.
Oh, no way! Look at my hair! No, no, no!
The other stepsister also jumped in to try it on, but the moment she put her foot in, her clothes started transforming and became shabby and dirty.
What happened to my clothes? Oh, I've turned into a pile of garbage!
At that moment, Cinderella came downstairs with a red shoe in her hand. The moment she put both of the shoes on, she transformed back into her beautiful self, just like at the ball. I found you, dear Cinderella. Now you're going to be my princess forever. The prince and Cinderella gave each other a hug and were filled to the brim with happiness. And thus, the stepsisters realized that jealousy never helps anybody. But love and kindness always has the power to open every door. Once upon a time, there was a brave boy, and this young boy lived alone in a jungle. And the name of this brave jungle boy was Mowgli. One day, as Mowgli was walking deep into the forest, there was a golden glow that caught his eye. When he bent down and picked it up, he saw that it was a dusty map that was probably very old.
Oh, this looks like a treasure map. Oh my goodness!
And so then Mowgli started to follow the path it drew because he wanted to go and find the treasure. On the other hand, Goldilocks was wandering around her garden picking flowers she wanted to make a crown from. While she was happily running from pink flowers to red ones, a tiny butterfly started flying around her. However, at some point she realized that while picking flowers, she had gone very deep into the jungle and had lost her way. She got worried, so she sat down on a rock and started crying. At that moment, the jungle boy Mowgli appeared and went to her. Mowgli was very curious.
What's wrong? Why are you crying?
He asked her.
I was going to make a crown out of flowers. But then suddenly I got lost.
Mowgli told Goldilocks that she should calm down a bit.
I grew up in the jungle, so I know my way around it very well. I will gladly take you home,
he said. Goldilocks was very surprised that Mowgli had grown up in the jungle. She saw his hand.
So then, what are you carrying?
She asked him. The jungle boy said that this was a mysterious treasure map and that he could help her if she wanted him to. Goldilocks accepted Mowgli's offer with excitement, and they started to follow the map together. As they walked through the forest, they found their way blocked by a very deep river. Mowgli fashioned a bridge from tree branches and made sure that Goldilocks got over safely. After a short while, they reached the entrance of a cave. At this entrance, there were strange symbols that had been carved into the stone. Mowgli examined the map carefully and spent some time trying to figure out what the symbols meant.
These symbols must be telling us something. Come on, let's go inside.
When they entered the cave, they held on tightly to each other so that they would not lose their way. As they were going deeper, Goldilocks suddenly felt the stones moving under her feet, and it made her unsteady. Mowgli grabbed Goldilocks and pulled her away, and then the ground opened up, and a rope tied itself around his ankle and pulled him up, so he was hanging upside down.
No! Goldilocks! I'm trapped here!
Goldilocks carefully examined the rope and followed it to its source. She decided she needed to look for a way to stop the wheels. Goldilocks took a large stone and hit the wood with all her strength. And then when it broke, the cog stopped turning, and Mowgli slowly came down to the ground.
I did it, Mowgli! You are incredible, Goldilocks! You were really awesome, you know?
After that, they carried on going into the cave. Finally, they reached the treasure room that was hidden deep in the cave. And that was when they stumbled into an old chest. When they opened the chest, instead of finding a pile of gold coins, they found 2 bracelets that were linked together. Mowgli untied the bracelets and gave one to his new friend.
Oh, look! My one has friendship on it! And the one I have here says trust.
The 2 new friends overcame the difficult test in the cave with unity and solidarity and found the real treasure. After putting on the bracelets, Mowgli kept his promise. And then he took Goldilocks back home to her house. Their friendship, which started by them agreeing to cooperate, lasted forever, thanks to friendship and thanks to trust.
Once upon a time, while the ugly duckling was wandering around the lake to find something to eat, a voice said, "Psst," from somewhere nearby. When he looked towards the sound, he saw a red rose that was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen.
Oh, Rose, hello. Is it possible to find something to eat around here?
He asked the rose. But the rose was so arrogant that without even caring about his hunger, she told the ugly duckling to get out of there immediately. This confused the duckling, and he couldn't understand why she was telling him to do that.
Why do you want me to leave?
He asked her. The rose replied, "Because my beautiful leaves do not get any sunlight because of you." She meant every word. However, the ugly duckling wasn't even standing that close to the rose. This time around, the rose said,
"You kick up so much water when you swim around. You're going to rot my leaves."
And she asked him to leave.
I see, but I'm not even swimming right now.
The arrogant rose paused for a moment and said,
"Oh, why don't you understand? You're so ugly, and seeing you damages my beauty."
Her honesty was too much. Hearing it, the ugly duckling became very upset. While he was crying, the arrogant rose continued praising herself.
Look at me! My leaves are so soft and shiny. See how they shine. They're not hard like those pale gray feathers of yours.
The ugly duckling couldn't take it anymore.
"If I don't give you water from my lake, those soft leaves will dry up, and then they'll fall off,"
he told her. And in response, "Instead of giving me water, wash yourself first. Compared to my beautiful aroma, you smell absolutely awful," the arrogant rose said. The ugly duckling smelled himself.
No, this is my normal scent, and it's not bad. You're such an arrogant rose.
The ugly duckling got angrier and angrier and decided to swim away. The days and nights passed by. The arrogant rose began to wither from thirst. And just then, she lifted her head and saw the ugly duckling swimming around.
Hey, ugly duckling! For a long time, no one has come here. I wonder if you could give me some water from the lake. Look at me. My leaves are drying up.
The ugly duckling remembered the conversation they'd had the other day.
You said that the water of my lake would rot your leaves. What changed?
Just as they were about to get into another fight, a farmer passing by noticed the rose was withering, and the duckling was starting to get weak with hunger.
My little sweethearts, hasn't anyone taken care of you?"
he said as he approached them with compassion. He took the bread out of his pocket and threw it into the lake, while the ugly duckling was happily eating the bread. The farmer poured handfuls of water that he took from the lake onto the rose's petals. The kind-hearted farmer came to the lake every day and kept on feeding the duckling and watering the rose. And when the duckling everyone thought was ugly grew up, he became one of the most beautiful swans that was ever seen. When the farmer saw him, he couldn't believe his eyes. Even the arrogant rose was so impressed by his beauty that she regretted what she said to him.
I have been unfair to you. Can you ever forgive me?
And the swan agreed to forgive the arrogant rose because she'd become kind. This is how the friendship between the beautiful swan, who everyone thought was ugly, and the rose began. Because love is the cure for everything, even for arrogance.
One day, while the beautiful Rapunzel was taking a pleasant walk through the forest, she encountered one of the 7 dwarfs. "What are you doing out here?" she said to the dwarf. And the happy dwarf told her that he would make a necklace out of bird feathers for Snow White for her birthday and invited Rapunzel to the party that evening. Flattered, Rapunzel liked this idea very much. While the other 2 of them were collecting bird feathers together, they were sadly unaware that the evil queen, Hela, was watching them with her crystal ball. The evil queen was incredibly jealous of Snow White's beauty, so she had been waiting for a chance to hurt her for a long time.
So bird feathers, huh?
Then Queen Hela plucked a feather from the bird that landed on her windowsill. She went to her workshop and made a beautiful necklace.
Where did I put the spider potion? It's here.
She took the potion from the shelf behind her and put some on the necklace. In the meantime, the dwarf named Doc was blowing up balloons for the party, and the happy dwarf was putting the cake on the table. And the princess was very happy when she saw what had been prepared for her. When it came time to give gifts, they heard knock, knock, knock. Suddenly at the door of the hut, when Snow White opened the door, she saw an old lady standing there.
My beautiful girl, I'm starving. If you have any food to spare, can you share it with me?
And dear Snow White could not say no to her and invited the old lady in. Rapunzel got the feeling that there was something strange about this old lady. While they carried on with the fun of the party, the old woman quickly replaced the necklace box with one of her own without anyone noticing what she had done. The happy dwarf very happily put the feather necklace around Snow White's neck. At that moment, the bird feather turned into long spider webs and covered Snow White all over her body. The old woman that everyone felt sorry for suddenly turned into the evil Queen Hela. My plan has finally worked.
Please help me!
Seeing Snow White terrified and trying to break free from the webs, Rapunzel cut the webs in one smooth move with a knife on the table. The feather fell on the ground. She picked it up and pressed it to Hela's chest.
No, please don't do that! Please don't do that!
The evil queen suddenly transformed into a huge spider. Rapunzel, with the help of Doc the dwarf, locked the spider in the closet. Snow White and the 7 dwarves were impressed by how much courage Rapunzel had shown.
If you hadn't have been there, then what would we have done, Rapunzel?
The happy dwarf and Doc the dwarf said, "You truly are a real hero," and said thank you to Rapunzel. Nobody knew if the evil queen could get out of the situation she was in now. But all thanks to Rapunzel, Snow White and the dwarves understood how important having courage and being fearless are when it comes to protecting a person's friends. In a land far, far away, there was a couple who had not been able to have a baby for a long time. But then after 7 long years, a wonderful miracle happened and they had a baby. The new mother and father named their little bundle of joy Jaden, more than anything in the world. Whatever Jaden wanted, his father would immediately run and get it for him. And whenever Jaden got bored, his mother was quick to find a way to entertain him, and that's why he was such a happy baby. But as the years went by and he got older, Jaden started not doing his homework, and he started lying to his family. His family was very upset about this. At the same time, in the sky where no human eye could see, there was the kingdom of bad feelings. That day, the king of bad feelings summoned the fairy of laziness, the fairy of arrogance, and the fairy of lying into his throne room. From the clouds, he showed them Jaden and said he doesn't do his homework, and he cheats a lot, and he lies to his family, and he's so arrogant. He was so glad. All 3 fairies were honored by the king for doing their jobs so brilliantly. However, he also warned the fairies and made sure they all understood that Jaden was never to give up these bad habits.
We will do our best to make sure of it, Your Highness.
Jaden was now a 14-year-old teenager. He would spend the whole day in bed dreaming. The rubbish bins that his mother gave him to throw away, he would leave on the side of the street. And whenever his father asked, he would lie to him and say that he couldn't find the bin.
Why are you lying, Jaden? Why are you so lazy?
His poor parents did what they could, but no matter what they did, there was no changing Jaden's attitude. And then one day, Jaden woke up very early. He went and sat in the park. He saw flowers and butterflies. He watched as they flew around, and it made him so happy. After a while, a gardener came up to him.
Look, young man, if you want to feel this happiness every day, then you must help me.
Surprised, Jaden asked the gardener what he wanted. He explained that if he could not clear the weeds, then they were going to poison the park, and no one would be able to sit and enjoy it like that again. Jaden got inspired and started helping. He lost track of the hours he spent clearing the weeds. Not being lazy made him feel so good. At that moment, the fairy of happiness suddenly appeared in front of him. She was kind and gave Jaden 3 rings for the work he'd been doing.
These are the rings of honesty
And discipline and humanity. They're going to help you get rid of your bad habits. Jaden asked her,
So how come I wasn't lazy today?
He was curious. The fairy of good feelings told him she cast a freezing spell on the fairies of bad feelings. But they're going to thaw in a few hours. Remember, the power lies within you. When he woke up the next day, despite all the efforts of the fairies of bad feelings, Jaden spent hours exercising. Even though on his way, he knocked over the flower pots. He owned up to his mother, he said he did it, and finally humbly apologized to his parents for what he had done.
We have lost!
Jaden, by working patiently, moved away from arrogance, laziness, and lying with every day that passed by. Because he knew that honesty, discipline, and humanity always have to come first. The witch Camilla one day opened her spell book with a bang.
Here is the time spell. My potion is ready. But to complete the potion, all I need now are 3 little pigs.
And then Camilla simply snapped her fingers, and the 3 little pigs found themselves in the magic room.
Huh? What? What's going on? Help us!
And then Camilla made the pigs keep quiet and said that she would turn them into clocks and turn time forward. Then she would take Rapunzel's hair and make gold from it until the day the sun swallowed the earth. Meanwhile, Rapunzel suddenly entered the room. Camilla stood right in front of her so she wouldn't see the pigs and said to her, come on, go for a walk in the forest. You can come back before the sun goes down. Go! And then she slammed the door right in Rapunzel's face. Rapunzel was getting very suspicious of Camilla's actions. I don't know what to do. Should I go for a walk in the forest, or should I stay here and figure out what Camilla's up to? Rapunzel made up her mind to go to the forest because she hadn't gone for a walk in a long time. At that moment, the evil witch took a red potion and poured it onto the pigs and turned every one of them into a clock so she could go through with her plan.
You are now tellers of time. You have hour and minute hands.
Camilla turned the hour and minute hands. She just moved them a little bit, and it became evening. And then she did it again, and it was morning.
It was a success!
Outside, while Rapunzel was walking in the forest, she was surprised when it suddenly became night and then day again, and she hurried back to the tower. As she got closer to it, she saw the mother pig looking up at it in concern.
What's wrong, little pig? Why did you come to the tower?
The mother pig said that her children had been missing for hours and that the track she followed had brought her to the base of the tower.
But you're not in the tower! What if the witch has done something to my babies?
Rapunzel asked the mother pig to please calm down and used her hair to climb the tower. When she looked into the magic room, she saw 3 clocks that weren't there before. A little one, a medium one, and one more that was bigger than the other 2. The moment they saw Rapunzel, the 3 clocks started ringing. But to figure out exactly what was going on, Rapunzel had to find the correct spell book.
Do any of you know where the spell book is? Yes, there it is! Found it!
Rapunzel studied the book for a few moments. She found out that if there is a full moon in the sky, it would keep the pigs as clocks for the rest of their lives. According to the book, in order to break this spell, potions that had been kept in long, thin tubes had to be poured over the clocks. That was the only way. But there were 2 different potions on the shelf. One was red, one was blue, and they were both in long, thin tubes.
Do you think I should use the blue potion? Or the red potion for the pigs?
Rapunzel decided to take a chance and choose the blue potion. As soon as she poured the potion on the clocks, they returned back to their normal states and sparkled like the stars.
We've been saved! Hooray! 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 Thank you very much, Rapunzel!
And just then, Camilla walked into the room.
What is going on here? What did you do to my clocks, Rapunzel?
Rapunzel quickly poured the red potion on Camilla before she could do anything. Camilla suddenly turned into a clock herself. The little pigs were reunited with their mother thanks to Rapunzel. Camilla started to come to the realization that it was wrong to waste time trying to be evil. Because time was valuable to everybody. In a forest far, far away, there were 2 greedy wolves, and their names were Jack and Hector. They got along well, but when it came to food, they always ended up fighting. One day, while they were arguing over an apple once again, Hector noticed that by a tree there was a little goat.
Yoo-hoo! You can enjoy your apple, Jack. I have found a much more delicious meal.
Hector, very slowly, made his way to the tree and walked around it. And Wolf Jack snuck around the other side without Hector seeing him. The innocent little goat, who was unaware of what was happening, was busy eating the grass on the ground. The 2 wolves came face to face with each other, and both ran towards the goat at the same time. In that moment, the baby goat jumped up into the tree to pick an apple from the branch. And the wolves crashed into each other head-on. The innocent goat eating the apple didn't even care about the wolves. He finished his apple and made his way over to the bridge to get more grass. With no hesitation, the 2 wolves immediately went after the innocent goat. The goat crossed the bridge easily because his body was light enough to go over the bridge. But when the wolves tried to follow, the bridge collapsed.
Oh, my leg! No! You're too heavy. The bridge collapsed because of your huge feet.
No, it must have collapsed because of your huge belly.
Wolf Jack saw the goat climbing towards the top of the mountain and picked up a handful of mud and threw it at Hector. And chased the goat. Then Hector wiped his face dry and went after them immediately. However, while the innocent goat was happily jumping from stone to stone,
La 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 la.
he was still unaware that the wolves he thought he had left behind were still hunting him. At that moment, tiny stones slipping under the goat's feet started to fall and hit Jack in the face. This made Jack lose his balance, and he fell into Hector, who was right behind him. And of course, the two of them crashed into each other.
He slipped through our fingers again because of you.
The two silly wolves realized that this was not the best way for them to catch the goat. Wolf Hector said, "Look, my brother, you're hungry and so am I. Let's catch this goat together and share it eventually." Jack thought for a moment and accepted. And later, they saw the goat going into a cave and followed him inside. "Hey, little goat, we've got you cornered, and now we're finally going to eat you," said Wolf Hector. And then, as the wolves were about to jump on him, the goat came forward and stopped them.
Meh, I won't be enough for both of you. There's a herd of goats outside.
While the greedy wolves were discussing it, "I'll go get them!" "No, I will!" and were distracting each other, the little goat snuck out between them and cleverly blocked the entrance of the cave by pushing a stone with his horns, which meant that the wolves were trapped inside the cave. While the goat carried on grazing freely and without any worry, the greedy wolves paid the price of rivalry by going hungry as they had before.
If only we could eat the apples from that tree.
Ow!
In a land far away, there existed a very pink palace where dazzling balls were held all the time and princesses danced for hours. On the other hand, One Eye, Two Eyes, and Three Eyes spent all their days lost in daydreams of dancing in that palace. Because, in order to go to the palace, a person had to wait for an invitation. In all the months they had been living in their house, they hadn't received a single invitation. And then one day, their mother gave a handful of gold to Three Eyes and One Eye. "Buy yourself some new clothes with these coins. And then one day, if we get an invitation, you can wear them to the ball," she said. The girls fought with each other about how they would share the gold. Two Eyes watched what was happening longingly.
But Mother, I also want to buy a dress for the ball. Can you give me gold too?
Her mother took a worthless old earring from her pocket and she threw it on the floor at the feet of Two Eyes. "Please take this. If it's worth anything, you can exchange it and buy something," she said. Two Eyes ran out of the house in tears because her mother loved One Eye and Three Eyes, but she always treated her very badly. Two Eyes noticed a glint on the edge of the rubbish bin a short distance away. When she approached it curiously, she realized that it was a pair of red shoes. Just as she was about to try them on, her mother shouted from the house and interrupted her.
"Hey, Two Eyes, come quickly and prepare our dinner!"
So Two Eyes quickly went into the house and hid the shoes under the blanket without anyone noticing that she'd brought them in. Finally, the day they were waiting for came around. While One Eye and Three Eyes were trying on the new clothes they had bought from the market, a golden envelope was slipped under the door. Their mother found the envelope and shouted with joy.
"Oh, my girls, get yourselves ready. We're going to the ball."
And so, while the girls were hurrying to get ready, Two Eyes asked if she would be able to wear some of her sister's clothes.
"These are our clothes. You can't have them, and you can't go to the ball wearing that either."
So Two Eyes went to her room sadly. When her sisters and her mother left home to go to the ball, she took the shoes that she had hidden under the blanket out again.
Oh, my beautiful red shoes! I can't go to the ball wearing only you. I really need a new dress.
The moment Two Eyes put the red shoes on her feet, her tattered clothes disappeared in a wonderful flash and were replaced with a dress that sparkled in the light. Two Eyes could not believe the magic the red shoes had performed, and in a state of excitement went to the palace. When she made her way into the ballroom, One Eye, Three Eyes, and their mother simply could not believe their eyes.
What? This can't be happening!
Two Eyes stood there in her sparkling dress, looking so beautiful in her magic shoes that the other young girls were so awestruck that they couldn't move from their seats. They had all been frozen in place. Three Eyes, One Eye, and their mother walked out of the palace in shame. And Two Eyes danced like a princess all night, all thanks to what the red shoes had done for her. Because her heart was filled with goodness and deserved only the best of everything.
Once upon a time, there were 3 billy goat squirrels that were living in a plain with lush green grass.
I'm Little Billy Goat. Bah! And I'm the Middle Billy Goat. Bah! I'm the brother of the Little Billy Goat. I'm the Big Billy Goat. Meh! I'm older than both of them.
And on this beautiful day, these 3 little goats managed to eat so much grass. As far as the naked eye could see, the grass in the insanely huge plain was gone. Oh my goodness, what on earth are we going to eat now? Asked the little goat suddenly. His older brother, the middle goat, said, Just look, I think there is some more fresh grass across the river. Come on, let's cross over the stone bridge and go and eat it, he said with excitement. All of the lush green grass looked really incredible, but alas, all of them knew that under the stone bridge there lived a ginger troll with red spots on his face. He also had hairy ears and an incredibly foul-smelling smoke, which was coming out of his mouth. And the poor troll was getting exceedingly tired of eating apples and grass for a very long time. He was very hungry.
Which one of us is going to cross the bridge first with that scary troll standing over there?
Little Goat said, I will cross first. And then he explained his whole plan to his brothers. Then afterwards, the little Billy Goat decided to climb onto the stone bridge. Suddenly, the troll heard the footsteps and went to the bridge with curiosity.
Where on earth do you think you're going, little goat?
The little goat, filled with fear, told the troll about his plan to cross the river to graze the grass on the other side. But I am not going to allow you to do that, said the troll, objecting. I have decided that I am going to eat you right here and now.
But I am tiny. If you eat me, you won't be full. My brother will come along soon, and he is much more delicious than me.
The troll was immediately convinced, and he stepped aside. This time, the middle Billy Goat went up to the bridge. Once the troll had heard the footsteps, he immediately went up to the bridge.
Tell me, who are you? And what are you doing on my bridge?
I wanted to cross the bridge so I can meet up with my little brother on the other side.
I cannot allow this, said the troll, and came closer. I cannot allow this because I'm going to devour you right now. The middle Billy Goat said this to the troll. If you eat me, you won't be full. My brother is coming this way soon. He is older than the 2 of us, and also more delicious. You should wait for him. The troll's mouth began watering, and he decided to move out of the way to let the middle Billy Goat pass over. And therefore, the middle Billy Goat was able to reach his brother and graze the lush green grass on the other side. Shortly after that, the slightly louder footsteps of the eldest brother was able to be heard on the bridge. The troll did not stop, and with a fury, he had blocked the great big Billy Goat's way.
Tell me, who are you? And what are you doing on my bridge?
The big goat said that he wanted to cross the river and meet up with his brothers who were already on the other side grazing the grass. But I won't allow you to pass, said the troll again. because I've been waiting for hours. I have been standing here the entire day waiting to devour you. Just as the troll was about to catch the great big billy goat, he said, I am incredibly dirty. If you eat me now, you will get sick. Let me go and wash myself in the river, and then eat me. Then you won't get sick. And then he slowly made his way to the edge of the bridge, unable to stand the hunger any longer. The troll did not listen to the goat, and he started running towards him. After the troll started running, the great big billy goat decided to move aside, and the troll fell into the river.
I'll get you!
While the greedy troll was slowly getting lost within the flowing waters, finally the three little billy goats started to enjoy the delicious green grass and apples on the other side of the river. You see, the only way to think wisely is when you have a full and happy tummy.
I wish my hair was long like yours. Rapunzel's one and only fan, Goldilocks, closed her eyes and fell asleep at midnight as usual. However, a forest fairy who made children's dreams come true entered through the window she left open. Before she noticed, the forest fairy had cast her spell and left. When Goldilocks opened her eyes, she found herself in a completely different room. As she looked around in surprise, she came face to face with Rapunzel. Uh-oh, what are you doing here? Wait a minute. I'm not asleep right now, and I'm actually in Rapunzel's room? What? Rapunzel! While Goldilocks was hugging Rapunzel, whom she admired, and looking at her hair with joy, the voice of the witch Camilla was heard.
Rapunzel! Let down your golden hair, I'm here!
Rapunzel hurriedly said,
Oh no, the witch shouldn't see you. Be quiet.
And hid Goldilocks under the table. She let her hair down through the tower's window. As the witch climbed Rapunzel's hair and entered the room, Goldilocks thought in amazement, Wow, just like in fairy tales. And meanwhile, Camilla knew something was going on as soon as she entered the room.
I smell something. Tell me, is there a stranger in this room?
Oh no, it must be the smell of the new potions you bought for your spells.
Of course, said the witch, and immediately left the room to deal with her new spells. Rapunzel immediately took Goldilocks from under the table and told her that she had to go back to her own world or the witch would imprison her here too. But how can I get back home?
With stardust. We have to find it first.
Rapunzel silently let her hair down from the tower. And Goldilocks climbed down by holding onto the hair without the witch seeing her. A little later, a tired turtle appeared in front of them.
Hi there, dear turtle. We are looking for some stardust. Do you know where we can find it?
The turtle said, There are nightingales on the top of the tree by the river. Stardust is right under that nightingale's nest. Rapunzel and Goldilocks came running to the riverside. They were about to climb the nightingale's nest when the nightingales suddenly shouted,
The witch is coming! The witch is coming! Run away!
And they both flew away. Rapunzel hid Goldilocks behind the tree, and she jumped into the river and dived to the bottom of the water, even though the witch looked over with her sharp and scary eyes around.
Where did Rapunzel go?
She passed by and left. Unable to hold her breath any longer, Rapunzel surfaced. She waved her hair over the top of the tree and took a handful of stardust from under the nightingale's nest. Goldilocks was once again amazed impressed by Rapunzel's courage. Rapunzel, I wish you would come with me and get your freedom.
I can't go with you, Goldilocks, but I'm so glad you consider me an inspiring companion. I really hope we cross again.
Rapunzel blew stardust onto Goldilocks. While all around was shining brightly, Goldilocks opened her eyes in her soft bed.
So it was all a dream. But it's okay. Thank you, Rapunzel, for showing me that kindness, courage, and helpfulness are more important than beauty.
That day, the beautiful Rapunzel decided to make a cake with her skillful hands. She searched and looked everywhere, but could not find cocoa for the cake. She went to ask for cocoa from the old lady who lived in a cookie house nearby. She stared in admiration at the delicious cinnamon-scented walls and the windows made of sugar and cream. She knocked on the door slowly. The old landlady, who opened the door grumpily, called out,
Who are you?
Hello, Auntie. I'm making a cake. Can I get some cocoa from you? The old lady's eyes were not seeing very well. She got closer to Rapunzel and stared, complaining.
Everyone wants the ingredients from me.
She pointed to the cellar downstairs and said,
My eyes can't see well. Cocoa is on the shelf right at the entrance of the cellar.
She grabbed Rapunzel's arm just as she was about to walk through the door.
Don't try to go further, okay? The cellar is so big you'll get lost.
Rapunzel could not understand the old lady's strange behavior. When she went down to the cellar, it was so dark and messy that she took a match out of her pocket and lit it. Marshmallows, vanilla, cocoa. Just as she was about to grab the cocoa and leave, she heard whispers from the back of the cellar.
Shh! Be quiet! I guess it's not the witch!
Rapunzel, ignoring the old aunt's warning, nervously walked to the back of the cellar and lit another match. At that moment, she couldn't believe her eyes because the two siblings were looking at her with fear from inside the cage. What's going on? Hansel, Gretel, who locked you in here? Hansel and Gretel told her that they were very hungry while walking in the forest, and the old aunt tricked them with food.
She's a witch. She locked us in here. She put the key in her pocket. She's going to make cotton candy out of Hansel.
Rapunzel thought of a good plan to save Hansel and Gretel. She then warned them not to rush and quickly left. She went home and quickly baked a cocoa cake. She spilled some pink powder on it, and without waiting, she grabbed the cake and took it to the old witch.
What should I do with your tasteless cake? I don't want it!
Rapunzel told the old witch that this cake was very good for the eyes.
Really? Well, give it to me and let me try it.
So the witch chewed and chewed. Then she stumbled and fell on the couch.
Is it evening already? Let me sleep for a bit.
It turns out that the pink powder Rapunzel put in the cake was Dream World powder. She took the key from the witch's pocket and immediately went down to the cellar. She freed Hansel and Gretel from the cage and took them out.
Rapunzel, you saved us from the witch's house!
Thank you so much! I didn't know she was a wicked witch either. From that day on, Rapunzel, Hansel and Gretel told everyone what kind of person the witch was. No child was ever lost in the forest again. While Rapunzel used her intelligence and talent for good, The evil witch got lost in that dream world. Once upon a time, when Rapunzel, who had long golden hair, heard about the circus coming to the city, she got down from her tower with excitement and went to the market. When she saw the colorful lights and tents, she went inside. While she was wandering around admiringly, she heard someone crying from afar. Why would anyone cry in such a happy place? Thought Rapunzel. She approached the lion, which was standing there with its back turned, with curiosity. Dear lion, is it you who is crying? The lion looked a little unhappy but said,
No, I'm not the one crying.
This time Rapunzel saw the panda trying to ride a unicycle. Panda, are those sobs coming from you? Panda looked at Rapunzel with surprise.
No,
he replied.
I can't cry riding a unicycle.
Rapunzel continued on her way, but suddenly a clown blocked her way.
Come on, let's laugh a little.
He said and walked away spinning the ball. While Rapunzel was watching the clown with admiration, the cry was heard even closer.
Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo!
Rapunzel couldn't believe her eyes when she entered another small tent ahead, because the wooden boy Pinocchio was looking at her from inside the cage, crying. Pinocchio, are you the one crying? Who locked you here like this?
No, I am not crying.
As soon as he said this, Pinocchio's nose grew longer. Rapunzel insisted that he tell the truth, but when Pinocchio said,
I am not crying, I am very good,
again, his wooden nose grew longer again. Oh, Pinocchio, why are you lying? I see. Look, your nose is getting longer. Come on, tell me. Why are you locked in this cage? Pinocchio told Rapunzel that the circus owner had deceived him and imprisoned him here.
Moreover, everyone is forced to work here,
he said. Rapunzel was very sad about the situation of Pinocchio and the others. It turns out that no one was happy in the circus that she was so curious about. Well, I have a good plan in mind. Rapunzel quickly went and appeared in front of the circus owner. Hey, circus owner! I am a very famous magician, and this is my magic cabinet. I can help you make a lot of money. The evil circus owner accepted the offer as soon as he heard about money. The circus was packed. After acrobatics and exciting shows, Rapunzel appeared on stage. For this crazy show, I invite the circus owner to the stage with your applause. The circus owner went on stage accompanied by applause and entered the closet unaware of everything. As soon as Rapunzel said, Hocus Pocus, every part of the cabinet was locked. The person you see here is forcing everyone in the circus to work. He's a bad person. Come on, my friends, run away from the circus.
No!
The audience applauded when they learned the truth. In this way, while all the animals escaped, Pinocchio came and hugged Rapunzel.
Thank you so much, Rapunzel, for being so kind-hearted and saving us all.
The greedy circus owner, who did everything but for money, was finally punished. However, real wealth arises from cooperation and solidarity, like the one between Rapunzel and Pinocchio. was a little mouse living deep in the forest. While he was walking around happily that day, he came across a hectic rabbit. Rabbit said,
"Have you heard about that mysterious tree that the lion guards? They say anyone who eats its fruits grows wings."
The mouse didn't believe her at first, while he was thinking,
"That's not possible."
Cinderella appeared before him. When also she said that she was very curious about this special fruit mentioned.
Who does the lion think he is? Fruit is everyone's right, isn't it? I'll pick it now and bring it.
The rabbit asked in surprise.
How? Aren't you afraid of the lion?
In response, the little mouse put on his walnut shell helmet, took his hazelnut shell shield in one hand, his sword in the other, and took the floor.
He should be afraid of me. Wait for me, king of the forests.
Thus, the little mouse appeared before the lion, the king of the forest. The lion was taking a nap in front of the tree. The mouse started shaking as soon as he saw the lion, but this did not stop him. He climbed the tree silently without waking the lion. Just as he was about to pick one of the fruits, it slipped out of his hand and fell on the lion's head with a bang.
Who hit my head? Show yourself right now!
This tree doesn't belong to you, okay? Give me 3 or 5 fruits right now!
Seeing the mouse on top of him, the lion became even more angry.
Come here right now!
And he shook the tree with his big paws. The mouse couldn't hold on and fell into the lion's palm.
Oh, Julie is also okay. Don't get mad. Actually, even one is okay. Just a taste for Cinderella.
No.
The lion angrily shook the mouse by his tail and threw him forward. As soon as the mouse fell to the ground, he started running and said,
"Oh, why are you growling? Why don't you give me 2 fruits? Oh, God! Run! Run!"
Seeing the mouse returning empty-handed and afraid, Cinderella said, "You should trust yourself and overcome your fears, little mouse. Come on, have a little more courage." On the other hand, while the lion was walking unaware of everything, he got caught in the webs of a family of spiders. No matter what he did, he couldn't escape.
Help! Save me! Please help!
At that moment, the mouse, who was rehearsing courage with a sword in front of the mirror, heard the lion's voice. Curiously, he went to him, cut the spider webs with great courage, and saved the lion from the situation he was in. All the animals and Cinderella were very impressed by the mouse's courage. The lion gave the mouse a basket full of fruits as a gift for saving him. And the mouse shared these fruits with everyone. But no one grew wings.
Yum! But weren't we supposed to grow wings?
Sometimes when we eat a delicious fruit, we feel like we are growing wings and flying with happiness, little mouse.
Oh, I see.
From that day on, the little mouse overcame all his fears. He was now braver and happier than ever.
In a land far, far away, Cinderella and her 2 stepsisters were living in the same house. Her sisters always treated Cinderella incredibly badly and made her do all of their work. One day, the 3 sisters went on a shopping trip. But all the bags full of things they bought were being given to Cinderella for her to carry.
Ugh! Take this quickly, I can't feel my arms anymore.
Her sister Cassandra said, "Hurry up, there are dozens of stores for us to visit. Come." Cinderella followed them through the shops patiently. After a while of them walking, a beggar with tattered clothes appeared in front of them.
Just as he was about to ask for help, Jezebel said, "Ugh, get out of our way." And those two kept walking, but Cinderella couldn't ignore him. And then Cinderella secretly gave one of the bags to the beggar so that he could make some money from it. The beggar was so happy about this that he said to her, "You are a very good person, and I hope that every one of your wishes come true." And he really meant it. Just then, her stepsister Cassandra shouted at Cinderella, "What are you talking about with that beggar? Come here quickly." It was an order. Cinderella then ran to her siblings as quickly as she could. That evening, they finally got back home. While the sisters were happily looking through the clothes that they had bought, they noticed that one of their bags had gone missing. "One of the bags is missing. It is your fault. Tell me where you hid it," said Jezebel to Cinderella.
We saw how you looked at those bags. We know you stole it.
No, I didn't steal it. So someone else stole it. You couldn't keep an eye on a bag?
They interrogated her so hard that Cinderella eventually confessed that she gave the bag to the beggar. Then her sisters got very angry and started shouting at her. At that moment, somebody knocked on the door. It was the handsome prince of the country. The prince looked inside and said, "If I'm not mistaken, there is a young girl that helped a beggar here." The sisters looked at each other in surprise, and they started to say, "Me, me, me, no, no, me, me." They were fighting with each other.
My prince, the whole country knows that I am a very helpful person.
While they were pushing and shoving each other, the prince happened to see Cinderella watching on sadly from inside. He came up to her slowly. Cinderella couldn't help but say that she was the one who helped the beggar out.
She's lying to you, my prince. Don't believe her.
The handsome prince took Cinderella's hands in his own.
She is not lying. I know that it's you, because I was the beggar.
Cinderella held the prince's hands with both surprise and joy at what was happening. The prince turned to the sisters and said, "I have always been considered a man of the people. That's the reason I dressed up as a beggar." At hearing this, the sisters both bowed their heads in shame. And Cinderella started living a happy life with the prince, because everybody who does good in this world will surely be rewarded for it.
In a land far, far away, there was a young girl called Cinderella. That day, Cinderella set out to go to the party organized for her birthday in the forest. But when she arrived at the party, she couldn't believe her eyes because everywhere was a mess and the dining table was empty.
Oh no! What happened here?
A mouse came forward and said,
"The lion took all our food and left. He also made a mess and ruined your birthday." "We've never seen the lion this angry,"
Giraffe said.
"We weren't afraid of the lion for no reason."
And Cinderella was thinking like, but the lion must have a reason for doing this. When she set out to look for the lion, with that thought, the little mouse followed her with curiosity. After walking for a while, they noticed cotton candies flying with the wind.
"It must be this way,"
said the mouse. When Cinderella ran to where the mouse pointed, she saw the lion throwing the food he took from the party down the well. Moreover, the lion was angrily saying,
"Rawr! Here is some cotton candy. Let's see now how you party without me."
As soon as the mouse approached the lion, he said,
"Lion, stop! Don't do it!"
The lion was startled by the sound, lost his balance, and fell into the well. When Cinderella bent down to help, she saw the lion clinging to the edge of the well with his nails at the last moment.
Help! If I fall here, I will never get out! Please help!
Cinderella, look, a rope! Cinderella tied one end of the rope tightly to a tree. The mouse threw its other end towards the lion. With difficulty, the lion held onto the rope and pulled himself up the well.
Lion, why are you acting like this?
I wasn't invited to the party because everyone is afraid of me, and I spent all night baking a cake.
Cinderella was very sorry for the lion.
You're right, but the solution is not to break up the party. You almost fell into the well.
Well, we can go talk to them if you want.
The lion admitted that his behavior was wrong. When they arrived at the party area together, everyone who saw the lion started running away.
Oh my goodness, the lion is here!
Stop! Everyone keep calm. You don't need to be afraid of the lion. He is good. The animals at the party stopped and looked for a moment and saw a huge cake in the lion's hand. They were very surprised and all of them said,
"Wow! Did he do this for our party?"
It looks so delicious.
When Cinderella thereupon said, "It is very important to know and understand others before being prejudiced against them. Remember this, my animal friends." All the animals apologized to the lion, one by one. And the lion apologized to them for throwing their food into the well. From that day on, no one treated anyone with prejudice. And they lived in the forest in joy and happiness.
On this exact day, Lazy Girl ran into the house with the invitations in her hand.
The ball invitations have arrived now! Sister, come here!
Her diligent sister was also very happy about this. Both of them started to get ready right away. The diligent girl got dressed in the dress that she sewed all by herself. Lazy Girl, however, didn't like any of the dresses she tried on.
Why don't I have a fluffy pink dress to wear? Oh, goodness!
Her sister hurriedly got her out of the house so that they wouldn't have delays and be late for the ball. And when they finally arrived at the fancy ballroom, the lights and music wowed them, and they chatted to the beautifully dressed people. The diligent girl got carried away by the music and started dancing. In contrast, Lazy Girl was standing in the corner complaining and grumbling just because she didn't like the dress she was wearing. Suddenly, a golden key that was shining on the ground caught her eye. She put the key in her pocket and started wandering around the palace without being seen by anyone around. Then, in one of the dozens of rooms, she found a chest, and she excitedly put the key in the lock. But the key didn't want to turn. So then next, she tried her luck at a pretty jukebox, but the key didn't work in its lock either. But then, the last thing she noticed was the shabby wardrobe behind her.
Ugh, what will I even find in this dirty wardrobe? Perhaps a mouse will come out of it.
Lazy Girl put the key she found in the hole, and the key magically opened the doors of the wardrobe right away. Lazy Girl put her hand into the wardrobe and started to grabble curiously. There's nothing in here, just as I expected. But then, she held a wonderful dress in her hand. Very surprised, she searched the inside of the wardrobe once again. This time, she took out a purple skirt. Even though the wardrobe seemed quite empty, new clothes kept on magically appearing every time the Lazy Girl put her hands inside.
I can't believe it! This wardrobe is magical!
And while she was constantly pulling out new clothes, the door suddenly opened. It was the diligent girl. "What are you doing here? What are all these clothes?"
Well, it's an endless wardrobe. If I take a few clothing items, I'm sure no one will notice, right?
But these don't belong to you. You can't steal.
But the Lazy Girl just continued to go into the wardrobe with a greedy attitude as she wanted to find a pink fluffy dress. But at that moment, the big clock in the room rang. Dong! And then The door of the magic wardrobe simply closed, also capturing the lazy girl inside. "Help me!" cried the lazy girl. Then her sister tried her best to open the wardrobe in panic.
Please, sister, can you please save me? It's very dark in here and completely empty.
While the diligent girl was hurriedly turning the lock, something happened. Snap! The key broke inside. "Oh, what now?" said Diligent Girl. This time, she put her hands between the doors and tried to open the wardrobe with all the strength she could muster. Then after a while, the wardrobe doors finally opened, and the lazy girl came out of the wardrobe that she had been stuck inside. Without even looking back for 1 second, the sisters walked away from the wardrobe and they left the palace. And then from that day on, the lazy girl promised to never be greedy again. And she promised never to take anyone's belongings without getting their permission first.
In a village far, far away, a lazy girl and her older sister, the diligent girl, were living together. The lazy girl didn't like working so much that she was too lazy to even take the plate she was eating from to the kitchen. The diligent girl, on the other hand, was doing all the work in the house. One day, there was a knock on their door.
Oh, the door is ringing, sister. You open it. I just applied my nail polish.
The diligent girl opened the door. It was their old aunt. While the diligent girl immediately took her aunt's bag and invited her in, the lazy girl just shouted,
"Welcome, Auntie!"
from a distance. When their aunt entered, she found the diligent girl's room spotlessly clean. But when she saw the lazy girl's room, she grimaced and said, "How messy is this place?" Everywhere was so dirty that their old aunt realized later that she had stepped on a fork. Ouch! My foot! The diligent girl immediately helped her aunt. The lazy girl didn't even care about the situation. Later, the diligent girl went into the kitchen and prepared a delicious apple pie for her aunt.
"I can't let you go back home hungry, Auntie. If you get hungry, you can eat it on the way,"
she said. The lazy girl, smelling the sweet smell of the pie, also joined them.
"Give me some of that pie,"
she grouched. Their old aunt reproved this disrespectful behavior of the lazy girl. She took out a golden comb from her bag and gave it to the diligent girl. "This is a gift for your thoughtful and respectful behavior." The girl combed her hair with joy. As soon as the golden comb touched her hair, her clothes looked so fancy. Her hair shone, and golden jewelry appeared everywhere on her. Seeing this, the lazy girl was so jealous of her sister that she said,
"Auntie, my pie is usually more delicious. Please wait, let me cook it right away."
She ran and entered the kitchen. She didn't put sugar because it was on the upper shelves, and to take it from there would be tiring for her. So she added salt. Instead of picking an apple from the tree and chopping it, she said,
"Who's gonna go out now?"
and added tomatoes. She put the pie in the oven, but out of concern for herself, she overbaked it too.
I think it cooked very well.
She offered the pie to her aunt, regardless of its burnt and bad taste. The old lady tasted it and thanked her anyway. Then she gave her a golden comb as a gift from her bag too. As soon as the lazy girl combed her hair, the clothes she was wearing became ugly. Her hair was disheveled, and her clothes started to stink.
What is going on? But isn't there any gold for me?
Their old aunt told the sisters everyone got the reward of their labor. Then she walked out the door and returned to her home. were 3 little pigs living in a cute hut deep in the forest. That day, the eldest pig took his brothers to the pool. The middle pig asked his brother, "But we didn't take our swimsuits with us. How can we swim?" The little pig was sad and said, "I wish I had taken my armbands." However, the eldest pig had another idea in his mind. "Our ships will swim today, not us. Let's collect materials from around and race our ships." The 3 little pigs happily gathered their materials and built their ships. The little pig made a tiny ship out of paper. The middle pig made a ship out of leaves. And their eldest brother made a huge ship out of tree bark. All 3 left their ships in the pool, and the race began. On the other hand, the big bad wolf of the forest woke up from his sleep, itching and scratching his head. Since he hadn't bathed in a long time, he was looking everywhere for a place to bathe. Finally, he saw the pool where the pigs were racing and jumped into the middle of them, saying, "Roar!"
Get out of here now, piggies! I have fleas and I itch a lot! I need to get in the pool and wash up! Otherwise, I will huff and puff and sink your ships!
"Huh, my ship is solid. You can't sink it," said the little pig. But when the wolf started to take a deep breath and puff it out, the paper ship turned upside down and sank. The little pig was crying non-stop. The wolf started to breathe in and puff out again. This time, the middle pig's leaf ship sank immediately. The wolf took one last deep breath and puffed out with all his might. But no matter how hard he puffed out, he couldn't sink the big pig's ship.
Go down! Sink!
At that moment, the eldest pig threw the ship he made out of tree bark into the honeycomb hanging above. And the beehive fell, and the wolf's head got in it.
What's going on? Help!
The wolf was even more frightened when he heard the buzz-buzz noise of the bees.
I'm so scared of bees!
However, the noise he heard belonged to the 3 little pigs, not bees.
Buzz, 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 buzz!
The wolf failed to sink the ship, and moreover, he got even dirtier and barely made his way back to his lair. The eldest pig, whose ship did not sink, became the winner of this race. So he taught his brothers how to build strong ships, and they had fun in the pool until the evening together. On a snowy New Year's morning, the town's old aunt baked a delicious gingerbread. She made his eyes out of cherries and his mouth out of cream. When she turned her back to wash her hands, the gingerbread stood up and ran away from the tray.
Huh? Where did my gingerbread go?
The gingerbread man shouted, "It's snowing! Yuppie!" while running through the town. Hearing his voice, one of the snowflakes was so hungry that she chased after the gingerbread.
Whoa! Come here! I'll eat you!
Run as fast as you can, Snowflake! But you can't catch me because I'm the gingerbread man!
No matter how high the snowflake flew, she could not reach him. Shortly after, the gingerbread man passed by a decorated Christmas tree. A very colorful lollipop noticed the gingerbread. "Yum! Come here right away! I will eat you!" he shouted after him. He jumped from the tree to the ground and quickly ran after the gingerbread.
Run, run as fast as you want, Lollipop. A snowflake is already trying to catch me, but you can't catch me because I'm the gingerbread man!
While the gingerbread man was running fast, the guitar in the hand of a street musician caught his sweet scent. He said, "Whoa, my chords are rumbling. Now see how I'm gonna eat you," and went after the gingerbread.
Run, run as fast as you can, guitar! A snowflake and a lollipop are already trying to catch me, but you can't catch me because I'm the gingerbread man!
Just then, the chestnut seller's Christmas hat heard the gingerbread man's voice. He too jumped down and started running to eat the gingerbread.
Run, run as fast as you can, Christmas hat! A snowflake, a lollipop, and a guitar are already chasing me, but you can't catch me because I'm the gingerbread man!
After running, they finally got stuck in the middle of a snowball fight. While the gingerbread man was running around to avoid being crushed, a child noticed the snowflake and squeezed her into a snowball. The other one saw the lollipop and put it in his mouth, while another one took the Christmas hat and put it on his head. The other one grabbed the guitar and started playing. And a little girl noticed the gingerbread man and shouted after him,
Yum! I want to eat you! Come here!
Run, run as fast as you can, little girl, but none of you can catch me because I'm the gingerbread man!
The little girl couldn't catch up with him either, because the winner of this New Year's run was the gingerbread man, and he was the only one. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs living in the forest. One day, while they were playing the game of cat and mouse, the eldest pig slipped and fell while running fast. Ouch! He noticed that there were tiny, colorful balls on the floor and asked, "What are these?" When the pigs looked around for a while, they saw a huge machine with colored balls inside. The middle pig turned the handle of the machine to understand how it worked. Yellow, green, and blue balls fell on the floor. The little pig took one in his hand and said, it smells like candy," and put it in his mouth. He chewed and finally cried out with joy, "These are fruit gummies!"
Yippee!
They all started chewing colorful gummies and blowing bubbles. The little pig saw the red gumball in the machine.
Oh, is this strawberry or cherry flavored?
He started turning the handle of the machine quickly. Just as the red gummy was about to fall into his palm, it jumped out and rolled into the forest all of a sudden. So the little pig started to chase it. He was bending down to the ground and looking around with the branches when a claw caught his hand from among the leaves. And that was the big bad wolf's paw.
Ah! Help! The wolf!
The little pig immediately ran to his brothers. All 3 hid behind the machine in fear. The bad wolf came to the garden and turned up his nose when he saw the huge machine, because he didn't like toys at all. "Come here, piggies, otherwise I'll huff and puff and break your machine," he shouted to the pigs. The little pig replied, "You can't break it." The wolf took a deep breath and huffed and puffed. The moment he puffed, the machine fell to the ground and broke. All the gummies were scattered on the floor.
Ugh! What are these vile things?
"They are ours, not yours," said the middle pig to the wolf. "Oh yeah, they're mine now," said the stubborn wolf. "You can't eat them."
Oh yeah? Watch me now!
The wolf threw all the gummies into his mouth. While he was chewing, he was saying,
"But those are not melting."
"Come on, blow it now and see how you ruin everything," shouted the middle pig.
"I can blow, so what?"
said the wolf, and blew with all his might. The wolf blew more and more, and the gummy in his mouth turned into a giant balloon. So much so that the wolf took off and flew up in the sky and disappeared. This clever idea of the pigs saved them from being eaten by the wolf. And this is how the grumpy bad wolf paid the price for his stubbornness.
How will I get down now?
That day, 3 little pigs met up under a huge tree. The eldest pig was holding pieces of wood in his hands. His little brother asked curiously, "Are we going to make fishing rods out of those wood pieces and catch fish?" The eldest pig replied, "Oh, no, it's a surprise." This time when the middle brother asked, "Or are we going to build a castle and play with the ball?" The little pig immediately said, "But we don't have a ball."
No, we're going to build a treehouse right here.
While the brothers were happy with this idea, the eldest pig immediately leaned a ladder against the trunk of the tree. All 3 of them took turns climbing to the top of the tree. They helped each other and nailed the wood of the treehouse. On the other hand, the big bad wolf, who was in a deep sleep, woke up to the construction noise. He got up and followed the noise, saying, "Grr! Who is making this noise?" While he was walking, grumbling, a piece of wood fell on his head and hit him. Just as he was about to shout in anger, he saw 3 little pigs on top of the tree. "Oh, I wasn't expecting that. A great breakfast," he said and hid aside. But the wolf was very afraid of heights. Unaware of everything, the little pigs have almost completed the treehouse. The eldest pig even made a couch inside. "Let's sit down and get some rest," he said to his brothers. First, the little pig sat on the chair. Then the middle pig took a seat. As soon as the eldest pig sat down, the couch shattered and broke with a bang. The eldest pig asked his brothers, "Huh? What's that noise? Were we expecting a guest?" The middle pig nervously said, "No. Or you think, is that the wolf?" Thereupon, the eldest pig brother opened the door with courage. When he couldn't see anyone outside, he closed the door back. Then the voice of the terrible wolf echoed inside. "Hey, piggies, open the door and let me in, or I'll huff and puff and blow your house down." The little pig shouted, "Our house is solid. You can't blow it down." Even though the wolf had fear of heights, he climbed all the way up to the top to catch the pigs. When the wolf puffed out, the inside of the house was destroyed.
What if the wolf catches us here? Where will we run to then?
While they were thinking about ways to escape, the wolf puffed out even harder this time. But what was that? The roof of the treehouse broke off and flew away. The wolf took one last breath and puffed out with all his might. The door opened with a bang and the wolf came in. But the pigs weren't inside.
Huh? Where did the pigs go?
It turns out that the pigs have already slipped down with the rope tied by their eldest brother. They even took the ladder on the tree with them so that the wolf could not come back down. The wolf, afraid of heights, was left alone at the top of the tree. Because he did not think about the consequences of his actions, he could neither catch the pigs nor get down. While the three little pigs returned home peacefully, the wolf howled all night long and asked for help. One day, three little pigs found a huge box at home. Even though they tried to open it, the lid was stuck and could not be opened. The youngest pig shook the box and tried to understand what was inside. The middle pig said,
I think there are 3 little balls in there.
The youngest pig replied,
If it were a ball, it would make a noise.
This time, the eldest pig took the box in his hand and shook it quickly.
I think there's something softer inside.
After the three little pigs struggled a little more to open the box, the lid finally opened. Colorful balloons scattered from inside and spread around. The eldest pig collected the balloons and went out. His brothers followed him with curiosity. The eldest pig stood at the fountain in the garden. He filled the balloons with water one by one. The youngest pig excitedly shouted,
Wow! The balloon's filled with water!
His excited voice reached the wolf's sensitive ears. The wolf, who had been hungry for a long time, said,
I think I hear a pig's voice,
and followed the pig's trail. Finally, he reached where the three little pigs were and hid in the grass. The eldest pig, unaware of everything, said,
Are you ready for the race to pop water-filled balloons?
Realizing this, the wolf thought,
Ugh! Getting wet is disgusting! My fur will be ruined! I don't like it at all!
And the water balloon race has begun. While the brothers were laughing and having fun, the wolf grabbed the little pig by the neck and pulled him into the grass. But no one noticed this. The race continued. This time, the eldest pig threw the water-filled balloon in his hand at the middle pig. The middle pig escaped once, escaped twice, and at the third balloon burst on him. And he got soaked. While the eldest pig was happy, saying, I won! The hungry wolf grabbed the middle pig by the neck and pulled him away. The eldest pig was jumping joyfully, but then he suddenly stopped. Because his brothers were not around.
Huh? Whoa!
He called out,
My brothers, where are you?
However, the hungry wolf had already taken the pigs away and was waiting for them to dry out to eat.
I can't eat you when you're wet! Yuck!
He said. That's why the wolf decided to blow on the pigs. At that moment, water-filled balloons rolled to the wolf's feet one by one. While the wolf was thinking,
where did these come from?
The eldest pig appeared at the entrance of the cave like a hero. Before the wolf could understand what was happening, the pig threw his giant water-filled balloon at the wolf. The giant balloon burst with a bang. When the wolf's fur got wet, he became heavy and made it difficult for him to move. He could neither eat the pigs nor escape from there. He could only say,
I hate getting wet!
The little pig ran to their eldest brother with joy. The little pig asked,
How did you find us?
His brother said,
I followed your wet footprints.
The little pigs hugged their eldest brother with admiration. When they returned home, they sewed a hero cloak for him and gave it as a gift. While the eldest pig was hugging his brother with his cloak, the wolf, whose fur was soaked, was looking for ways to dry himself.